Hello, Wizards of the Spiral, and welcome to the second episode of the Commons Courier. I'm Luke GoldHorn, and I'll be taking you through this week's episode of the Commons Courier. Let's start off with the news, as we normally do. The news is kind of dry this week, however there's some things that happened. Fairy Wings arrived in the Spiral, and a lot of girl wizards are really happy about this, where guys, no big deal. The Patriotic Leprechaun has left the Spiral. I believe he left the Spiral on Monday or Tuesday, so if you didn't get him, you missed him. However, I believe you can hatch for him with someone else. So if you really want it but you couldn't get the crowns, try finding someone who has an adult Patriotic Leprechaun and hatch with them. There's also a $59 a year membership sale on the Wizard 101 website, so if you've been meaning to renew your subscription, I definitely recommend going for this, since it normally costs $80 for a year membership. That's pretty much all we have for the news. Let's roll on with some of our other segments. Don't forget to check your broom's turning signal on this week's Rush Hour segment. Today, we're going to talk about how to deal with bad sports in PvP. While I realize these set of tips won't really help you improve on anything like crafting, gardening, pet training, or PvP, it will help us make our Spiral be an even better place than it already is. I mean, could you imagine that? Our first option is to simply ignore them. You can do this by going into your chat box and clicking on their name. When this happens, a character panel should appear in the top right corner. This should include things like a character portrait, and options such as add to friends list, hatch requests, trade requests, and report. One of the buttons available should be the ignore button. When you press the ignore button, you can't see anything that they type, which makes it really good if you simply just don't want to see anything they say. The next thing you can do is report them if they do anything against the rules. Try not to false report though, because there are some things that you might think that are reportable, however aren't. If you're not sure what is and isn't a reportable offense, you can go on the Wizard 101 website and find a list of what is reportable and what isn't reportable, and I'll try and include this site in the description. The next thing you can do is use your block enemy chat option. This can be found in the settings in your spellbook. This helps a lot because you don't have to ignore the other player, which, is good for them, and you don't have to see anything that they say during the battle. The last thing you can do is remember the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated. It's not good to curse and shout back at people who curse and shout at you. That doesn't even resolve anything. The best thing to do is to report them if they break the rules and simply move on and be nice about it. That's pretty much all for this Rush Hour segment. However, I have something really exciting for you this week on the community portal. Go check it out. Get ready to dive on into this week's community portal segment, because we have something really awesome planned for you today. I have the one and only Paige Moonshade here to talk to you about her upcoming contests on her blog. Now, Paige, can you tell us a bit about this contest?
Well, it's the best little dorm in Wizard City 2. This is the second annual Best Little Dorm contest. The first one I had on Wizard 101 Central. This year I decided to put it on my blog. It's basically you decorate your dorm in a summer fun theme. And you have to have special items I asked you to find or create or craft or, dye or garden.
Right.
And you have to put them in your dorm. And then you have to write 2 paragraphs. One paragraph for why your dorm represents the summer fun theme. And the second paragraph is how you use the 5 special items in your own words. And the paragraphs are no more than 5 lines each.
Okay. Are there any tips you can give to people? I heard that there are some, incomplete submissions.
Well, you must have your wizard name with your submission. If you don't have your wizard name, I'm not going to use your real name if you win. So, you must have your wizard name with your submission. For privacy, I won't never use a real name.
Right.
Let's see. The water bucket, everybody's asking if they can use the wooden well bucket. No. It's the crafted water bucket. And they do look different, and I won't say out. Let's see, the seedling in a small pot, it has to be in a small pot. You can have as many as you want, but this one seedling in a small pot you have to have one of those. Make it unique. Let's see, if you float items, you have to stay within the dorm space.
Right.
People are putting fountains in the walls and stuff like that. Yes, that's okay, but you cannot go outside the space.
Okay.
In other words, I don't want to see trail of rugs everywhere. That's not inside the space. I want inside the space.
I want to send a really big thank you to Paige Moonshade for being here with me on this week's The Community Portal segment. If you'd like to enter her contest, go to www.pagemoonshade.blogspot.com. I'll also have the link in the description. The blog you encounter should be Paige's page. That pretty much wraps up the Community Portal for this week. Let's head on to the Jackpot segment. It's that time again, Wizards, the Jackpot segment. Now, we don't have any entries this week either, so you should really enter. Don't be afraid to enter, and don't say, well, I want to give other people the opportunity to win, because you figure if I make an episode every week for a whole year and give out 5 codes each week, that's over 260 codes per year. So everybody will really get a chance. I mean, I don't really have 200 viewers. So be sure to enter for the Jackpot segment, and feel free to enter multiple times. Once you win, you don't have to stop there. Okay, let's head on to our last segment of the show. Today we're going to switch it up a bit, and the last segment of today's show is going to be the questions segment. We have 2 questions this week, which is a lot better than our 0 questions last week. Nicholas Limerider says, Dear Luke, in your last video you mentioned Flamea talking about a possible new world. Any idea or predictions of what it might be? I had to think about this a bit, since I haven't really thought about possible new worlds since about March or April. I personally think we'll see a medieval world, since we haven't really seen that theme yet, and since Morganth is kind of relating to Morgan and King Arthur, we'll definitely see it sometime soon. While some might argue that Wizard City is a medieval theme, I don't quite think it is, and I think its theme is really being a wizard school. Marissa Petal asks, what would be your opinion if KI added pajamas as an outfit in the game? I honestly probably wouldn't even have an opinion, but I think it's great if we get new styles, especially if they're really good looking styles. Again, I probably wouldn't have an opinion since none of my wizards would probably wear the pajamas, but I really think it's great to give wizards an opportunity to change up their look. That's pretty much it for this question segment. If you have any questions you'd like to submit, simply comment on this YouTube video or comment on the blog post. Okay, Wizards, that pretty much wraps up the second episode of the Commons Courier. Thanks for joining us, and I really hope you enjoyed the show. Again, don't forget to enter the Jackpot segment, there's room for everyone. And also, don't forget to submit your questions. Any questions are good. I'll see you guys in the spiral.